and that kind of bundling idea.
Yeah. All right, then the last one is just
Bruker.
That's all right. No,
Okay.
that was good. Christian mentioned the same thing. That can appeal to the C-suite, bundling, ultimate savings, because we're going to put this and this and this, right? What about Bruker? When you think about them as a company, what's their personality or brand? What are the things that come to mind?
Well, it's has always had more of an industrial application, and I'm not sure exactly where they stand right now, but when they first were marketing in the United States, they really had very few service engineers, and people could be down a couple of days because there was nobody to come in and service them. And that's what I'm sure Christian was referring to with service on that aspect.
Right.
But
right.
But
what
also,
do you mean
it's
by...
interesting that...
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's interesting that with Bruker, when they first came out, they had a slide, their slide that they put the specimen on was reusable, and that they cleaned it. And, with caustic chemicals, and that took, our pitch on that was that takes time. It's caustic chemicals in your laboratory, and dang it, you got to get it really clean or you're going to mess up your results. And we've always had disposable slides that are barcoded, and Bruker now has disposable slides as well. So it's like, I guess we had a good idea. And even the fact, and I know we're not doing blood culture, but I love telling people this, that excuse me, we have had plastic bottles on our Bacteria Alert since 2003. The other guys are just catching up in the last couple of years. 2003. So innovation is a big part of our company. And even just the testing, the card, the Vitek 2 card, that's very basic design since the beginning. We're talking like the innovation that went into developing that card to start with, and nobody else has got anything like that. So.
They haven't copied it?
No.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And that's the other thing with Microscan is that it's a sloppy, messy setup because it's a very manual setup process. And, the Vitek 2 is highly automated. And the BD Phoenix also is a very sloppy, messy, hands-on process for the setup of the panels.
Oh, good. Well, bad for them, good for us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's where the waste comes in.
How does, I told you that was the last question before, but here's my parting question. How does it strike you, the idea of having a separate video for MS and for Vitek 2? Does that seem natural? Would you think it was more natural to have one video, or, think about your sales process, how you might use something like this. What would be on your wish list?
I think that there are situations where having it as one is worthwhile because, but the fact that not all customers are targets for multi-TOF because of the cost, because of the space, then that seems like it would be kind of unnecessary to have it with all together. But the showing of the seamless connection of them is very important in those facilities that are targets for it. But then also there's the whole idea, well, if people don't always stay working in the lab they are in, and it's they might see it when they're in a smaller lab and end up in a bigger lab and have more influence.
Right. So it's, sometimes they need both. Sometimes they might just want one. Sometimes, sometimes they're buying. It's a little bit complicated because if they have Vitek 2, it's a slightly different pitch than if they have Phoenix and you're trying to sell Vitek MS into there. So, and
I don't even know whether the guys are doing that. Actually, I don't know how much of it. I think usually our pitch in a competitive account like that is to get them to move everything to bioMérieux. And I honestly don't know of situations, and that doesn't mean they don't exist, but I don't know of situations where they've stayed with a competitor for ID susceptibility but moved with us for multi-TOF. I don't know if that